Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And yes, I'm back. Had the weekend off. Did I have the weekend off? Had part of the weekend off. Don't think I did any lives over the weekend. Or did I? I may have. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I lied. I lied. I covered the Miocic Stipe versus Cormier. That was for the UFC heavyweight title belt. What we doing here? Let's drop that down. Let's get the architecture right. Matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's check the sound. Let's check for sound. Is it live yet? What the hell's going on? Didn't I just receive a notification? Yeah, okay. I've been worried. 1, 2. 1, 2. Get the architecture right, man. Okay, that's good. Yes. We got people populating the area. We got the matter of fact. Hold on. Let me just turn myself up. 1, 2. Yes. Okay. So let's turn the music up a little bit. Let's get the balance right. Something ain't right. Hold on. Uno momento. I detect something. Hold on. Let's check the overall sound levels. Okay. That's why. So let me get this back down. The master levels were too low. Okay, so that looks good. Let's get the title in. Let's get the ticker going. How's it look now? Okay, we're almost there. What else is missing? What's missing? Boom. Okay, so that's in the background for all those who have not seen the thumbnail. Bespoke thumbnail. Boom. Let's just get it up there and let's take that down so you can admire the artwork, if only for a moment. Okay. Let's get that down. Boom. And what's that? Okay, so that's activated, yeah? Yeah, that's good. Okay, and now let's get the screen right. Let's get it right. Let's get it looking right. What is that there? Is that it? Boom. Is that it? No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. That looks far better. Hold on. Let's do that. No, let's do that. Or let's do that. Okay, I like that. That's perfecto. Got to get the thing looking right. Okay, I think we are ready. I am ready for introductions. Okay, so you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie 161. And early doors. Who do we have here? We've got Frank the French in the building. James Jameson saying Raphie does it continental style, whatever that means. Okay, yes. Big up the lineal radio host. I'm lineal. My lineage goes back to my lineage goes all the way back to Harry Carpenter and beyond. Not Frank Buff, though. No, we won't talk about Frank Buff. Just leave it at Harry Carpenter. Okay, our international friends will have no idea to which we were just referring. Okay, so let's get into the topics of the day. Let's have a look at what we're talking about, what we will be talking about. Okay, we're talking about, how do we open this thing? We're talking about all the action, or most of the action that occurred over the weekend. And we'll also be looking forward. So we're looking backwards and we're looking forwards to the action in the coming weekend. So we're looking back to the last weekend and we're looking forward to this weekend coming. And I think we are ready to commence. Okay, so that's perfect right there. It's perfect right there. Know what I mean, Harry? Yeah. R.I.P. Harry Carpenter. Okay, so where do we begin? Where the hell do we begin? There's so much to get through. Am I ready for camera time? Uh-oh. Yeah, maybe a bit later. Well, first things first, as a matter of fact, let me just drop the link in the chat. Let's copy that and paste that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so link is in the chat. And let's get into the first thing. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's make sure that I'm following this thing on my mobile device so I can see everything that you can see. And let's get the levels down. Okay. Yes, that was good. UFC is issuing unboxing right now. UFC 253 is going to be absolutely insane. What's on 253? I know that we've just seen 252. What's on 253? Okay, let's get the volume down on this. Okay, so first thing we're going to get into, I think the best place to start, and the first thing we're going to get into is, okay, what is this? Boom. Okay, first thing we're going to get into is going to have to be, let's get the volume down. Okay, that's great. Okay, we're going to start off with Romero versus Marines. No, I'm not going to go with that article. We're going to go with we're going to go with which one? I want to fight, no problem. Hard to KO somebody that won't engage at all. Okay, so those are the words of Romero. Romero. What is his name? Ronaldo Romero. As a matter of fact, let's share this one. Let's bring this one all the way down. So, like so. Let's stop sharing that and start sharing this. There we go. Oh, I wonder. Okay. Boom. We're going to go with that one. Okay. So the WBC are exploring the possibility of ordering a rematch for Rolando Romero. Okay. So that's a little bit small. Let's get it up so it's visible. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so the WBC, World Boxing Association, WBA, World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza is considering the scenario of ordering a rematch between Rolando Romero, 12-0, 10 KOs, and Jackson Martinez. Okay, what's that? 19, 1 loss, and 7 KOs. Okay, so the two boxers collided for the interim WBA lightweight title on Saturday night at the Mohegan Sun, with a controversial ending that rubbed fans the wrong way. While there were many who saw Martinez as the winner, it was Romero who walked away with the 12-round unanimous decision win with scores of 115, 113, 116, 112, 118, and 110. So clearly the judges favored Rolando Romero by what? They had him winning on average, what? 18-10? Damn, that's a hell of a margin. They had him winning on an average of around 4 points or 4 rounds. Okay, so Mendoza has spoken with both teams about the outcome and the possibility of staging a rematch. I just spoke with both teams and we're going to study the possibility of a rematch. Before the fight took place, Romero had predicted a victory with a brutal knockout. The boxing ability of Marinez kept the power of Romero at bay. He was unable to get off with many flush shots as Marinez used his legs to move around while throwing a sharp jab. Romero was chasing him around and at times was able to connect, but Marinez showed off a solid chin to take those punches. Marinez felt he should have been the winner and intends to contest the outcome, hoping for a rematch to get ordered. That was a pure robbery, said Marinez. I won the fight. I out-jabbed, outboxed him. You could tell he didn't think he'd won the fight right afterwards. It's a straight-up robbery. And those are the words of Marinez on the right, Rolando Romero on the left, the power-punching guy, heavy hitter. But you can't hit what you cannot see. Okay. Let's get back into the chat, see what's going on with that, see how people responded to that. I mean, my view on this thing, I watched it live over here in the UK. It was late in the night, early in the morning. Obviously, we're 5 hours ahead. We're 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. So we're looking at the early hours of the morning, 3, 4 o'clock. I didn't score it, but from what I saw, it didn't look like Romero won from my vantage point. It didn't look like he won at all. So when I woke up in the morning, I fell asleep. I didn't see it till the 12th round. Watched it about 3/4 of the way in. And I didn't expect to see Romero to win, although I thought it was a possibility he would be given it, because he was the touted favorite. He was the guy, but he was saying, Romero is going to get him out of there. Rolando Romero is going to get Marinez out of there. People weren't even calling Marinez's name. They weren't even mentioning his name. It was just Rolando Romero. But from what I saw, it was a type of fight I don't like to watch. It was just devoid of skill. Well, on Romero's part, it was just devoid of, well, obviously, knocking people out is a skill, but I'm talking about general overall boxing skill. Seemed like he was just in there trying to throw bombs. And I noticed an absence of overall boxing skill. There was zero finesse. Wasn't showing off the craft. The craft of boxing seemed to be missing in Rolando Romero. What's his name? Rolando Romero. There was a paucity of a boxing skill, and those aren't the fights that I like to see. So I went ahead and fell asleep. Lacking in overall boxing skill, it was not a pleasure to my eyes whatsoever. It was not a pleasure to my eyes whatsoever. And so, I was not impressed with Romero. Let's just call him Romero. Rolando Romero. Let's just call him Romero. What's going on? Adesanya v. Costa 2, undefeated. What's going on here? Adesanya v. Costa. That's happening at 253. Adesanya v. Costa. That's happening at UFC 253. That's crazy. Or in the process of getting finalized. Oh, okay. So that's not finalized. Okay. So who's fighting at 253? UFC 253. Who's fighting on that card? Don't even get me started on Rolly. He throws one punch at a time. That one punch at a time was crazy to me. It was utterly, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous to me. Utterly ridiculous. I don't call that boxing. I'm sorry. That one punch at a time, I don't call that boxing. No way, no how. That's not boxing to me. I don't know what it was. It was like rock throwing. It seemed like more of a rock throwing technique. It'd be a great rock thrower, yeah, but this is boxing. Magomedov versus Walker. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't catch that one. There's been a lot of fights over the weekend. I watched a lot of the cards, but I've yet to catch that one. But I will catch that. And when I do, I will speak on it. I've read about it, but I haven't seen it. So I'm not going to speak on it. That's Andre. Andre up in the building. The prudent man is here. Yes. What's going on here? I'm going to get back to that one in a second. Romero had no jab whatsoever. And that was terrible. That was terrible to see. It was not a dainty dish. It was not a dainty dish to set before the king. That much is true. That's not boxing to me. That one punch thing, one punch at a time. Sorry. That's not boxing to me. WBC tomfoolery is killing boxing. OMG. Rolly coming in like Wilder. It was such a great fight. Yeah, I'm going to watch that one. I haven't had time to get around to that one. Yeah, I was working yesterday, so, didn't manage to catch that one. Caught most of them, but not that one. I will certainly catch up on it. I've read about it. I've read that it was a dainty dish to set before the king. So definitely going to catch up with that one. I'm going live tomorrow again, so no doubt I will touch on that. But as far as Romero's concerned, I heard a lot spoken of him, and I have to be honest, I am not impressed. That's not boxing. Throwing one big punch and expecting it to knock the guy out, then throw another one, expecting it to throw a guy. Hey, listen, he should have lost that fight. In my opinion, from what I saw, the 3/4 of it that I saw, Romero should have lost that fight. That is not boxing. That's just throwing one hard shot at a time. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you'd call that. But the WBA, the belt that they were fighting for, what was it? Yeah, the WBA. What's his president's name? Gilberto Mendoza is looking at setting up a rematch, ordering a rematch. He wants that fight fought for again. They were fighting for the interim WBA lightweight title, and Gilberto Mendoza is not happy. He's not happy camper. He's not happy with the outcome. He's not happy with the outcome at all. But I had a feeling that the judging would go in favor of Romero, and so it came to pass. That's exactly how it went down. Most unfortunate. But yeah, that's how that went down. So as we move on, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, Romero had something to say. So this is part 2 about the Romero story. He had something to say about it himself. So we might as well, since we're here, we might as well have a look at what Romero had to say. Okay, let's share this. Let's share this with you. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, where is it? There it is. Okay, so let's move that along. Okay, so Romero. Where is he? Oh no, what's that? That's not the right one. Where are we? Okay, so yeah, Romero says, "I won the fight, no problem. Hard to KO somebody that won't engage at all. Okay, so as Jimmy Lennon Jr. announced the scores on Saturday night, Rolando Romero was confident he had won his fight against Jackson Marinez. Okay, Romero's longtime trainer, Cromwell Gordon. Cromwell, that's one hell of a name. Cromwell Gordon and his father, assistant trainer, Rolando Romero Sr., had assured the unbeaten lightweight that he had done enough to overcome Marinez in their 12-round, 135-pound title fight at the Mohegan Sun, Connecticut. Okay, judges. Glenn Fieldman, 116-112. Frank Lombardi, 118-110. And Don Trella, 115-113. Agreed with them, which resulted in Romero's controversial victory over Marinez. Romero, the new WBA interim lightweight champion, disagreed afterward with those who claimed that Marinez was robbed. We all have bad performances, but I don't think I did a bad performance, said Romero. You guys all say I did a bad performance. I don't think I did a bad performance. I think I won. I think I won the fight, no problem. I pressed the entire fight. I attacked the entire fight. I landed the hardest shots. I hurt him to the body. I hurt him on top. So, I mean, it's hard to knock out somebody that doesn't want to attack, doesn't want to do anything. Okay, and that is Rolando Romero with his hand held aloft. Okay, the 24-year-old Romero, who's promoted by Floyd Mayweather's company, unofficially landed 17 fewer punches than the Dominican Republic's Marinez. According to CompuBox, Marinez connected 103 times out of 629 overall punches, whereas Romero landed 86 of 509. CompuBox credited Marinez for landing more power punches and jabs. Nevertheless, Lombardi somehow scored 10 of the 12 rounds for Romero, who won 8 rounds on Fieldman's card and 7 rounds, according to Trella. Those scores sounded about right to Romero, a brash knockout artist who had predicted he'd viciously stop Marinez. All he did was land jabs, Romero said. That's all he landed. And you can't win fights by simply landing jabs. That's an interesting concept. You can't win a fight by landing jabs. Very interesting concept. He didn't land no power shots. I landed all the harder, better shots. I hurt him. He couldn't do anything to me. The rugged Romero admitted Marinez was craftier than he expected, but wasn't impressed by the 29-year-old opponent. He was a little bit more slick than I thought. You know, he was very defensive, and he didn't really want to engage. It's hard to knock out somebody that doesn't want to engage. So that's what it is. I thought I won the fight regardless of everything. I'm the world champ now. Las Vegas's Romero became one of 4 WBA. That's one of 4 WBA champions within the lightweight division. So they got 4 champs in the WBA. Okay, Ukraine's Vasily Lomachenko owns the WBA super lightweight championship. Baltimore's Gervonta Davis holds the WBA world lightweight. Francis Van Mendy is the WBA gold 135 champion as well. Romero said that he would grant Marinez a rematch. He's not contractually obliged to fight Marinez again. However, Romero's handlers might avoid a second bout between them because of Marinez's troublesome style. I took the victory. Ramirez says, I'm going to move on. I'm going to get better and better and better. I mean, I came to this sport 7.5 years ago. I've had 12 fights. I've never fought a 12-rounder. I've never fought a 10-rounder. And I mean, I fought one 8-rounder. And that lasted 2 rounds. So, I mean, I'm just going to move forward from it and get better and better. This is my first real camp to fight for 12 rounds. This is my first real camp actually stepping up. I'm happy, regardless of everything. I won my belt. I am happy. I am happy. Okay. Where are we? I can't wait to hear you and Rick talk about the the Romero fight. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one. Who's this? Is this the real El Jefe or is it the fake one? Let's have a listen. El Jefe, is that you? Is the real one or the fake one?
Hello, producer.
That was Dixon Siders. That was Dixon Siders. Let's get him on. Get him on up out of here. Dixon Siders, how do you do? You just had to write something in the comment section. You didn't have to come on pretending to be somebody else, my dear fellow. Yes. So definitely gonna talk about that with Rick on Wednesday. Okay, what's going on here? Brackhurst versus McCatshill was a bit of a weird fight too. It was like a scrap for all the belts. Lineal 2. Multiple champions. Multiple champions over there at the WBA. Too many champs. Okay, so where are we? Where are we now? Dixon Siders. OMG. Okay, so as we move on, yeah, that Ronaldo, that Romero character, he needs a lot of work. He's never done a 10 round. He's never done a 10 rounder, much less a 12 rounder. So why have you got somebody who's never done a 10 rounder fighting for a championship? How the hell have you got someone who's never done a 10 rounder fighting for a championship? And in the championship fight is the first time he's done a 12 rounder. I don't know. That's strange to me. That's very, very weird to me. Very, very weird. But I don't know. That's the WBA. That's the WBA doing their thing. Okay, so that was going to go from one controversial thing to another controversial fight, should I say. Okay, so let's just drop this in there as we move on. Okay, so drop that and let's share this. Boom. Okay, should have that up on your screens now. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so the David Benavides beatdown of Angulo on Saturday. That's what we're looking at now. Okay, so David Benavides broke down and stopped Alexis Angulo in 10 rounds, as seen pictured here. Okay, so the WBC super middleweight title was only at stake for Angulo because Benavides was nearly 3 pounds over the weight limit and was stripped of the belt. Okay, there you see Benavides putting a beat down on Angulo in the corner there, trying to duck out of the way unsuccessfully. Okay, so Angulo was willing to make it a fight with Benavides as he was coming in to trade punches in close. Benavides was shooting a very hard jab on Angulo, and Benavides has the edge in the second and third with his power punches and jabs. Benavides had the edge with activity, landed more punches in 7th and 8th and 9th. Okay, there you see Angulo eating a heavy right. Okay, Angulo was unable to change anything in the 10th, and the fight was stopped before the start of the 11th. Okay, a pictorial there of the whole thing. Okay, and Benavides emerges victorious, but minus the belt around his waist. Okay, so that's that with that. That's the end of that. Okay, so yeah, let's get into the David Benavides situation. Okay, so Benavides turned up and said that he couldn't drop the weight. He couldn't drop the weight because he was confined to his hotel room when they got into the bubble. They were only allowed 1 hour of exercise, and that simply wasn't enough for him to shed the weight. Well, this is very strange. The strange thing about that is that Benavides actually has his own gym. He has his own gym, and so you'd have thought that he would have had ample amount of time to get into the bubble, the COVID bubble, in time to, well, on weight. You'd have been able to get there on weight, or be able to use the little gym time he had to get his weight right. But he should have come in with his weight right in the first place. I mean, the situation was the same for every other boxer. So the question is, why is it that Benavides needed more time than anyone else? What's all that about? The dude's a champion. He's lost his belt before. He's got his own gym. I mean, how many excuses? What can be the excuse for a champion not making weight? It's very, very unfortunate. It's unprofessional, and it just looks bad on Benavides. All the skill in the world. He's got that long reach, as you can see, but you have to question the dedication, the dotting the I's, the crossing the T's. Is he really doing it? Is Benavides really doing it? And clearly not. We got Caleb Plant waiting in the wings. And Benavides, his ultimate aim is to get a hold of Canelo. Wants a piece of Canelo. And interestingly enough, where's the article? I'm strolling through. I'm looking for the article. Interestingly enough, where is it? Is that it? As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. Let's go likes. Let's stop sharing that and start sharing this. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So you should be seeing what I'm seeing. I'm clearly not seeing it very well. Let's just turn this up a notch. Hopefully you're seeing it a little bit better now. Let's go in likes. Where is it? Where is it? What's the latest on? Ah, here it is. Here it is. Okay, so continuing on with the David Benavides theme. Interesting side note is that the WBC Board of Governors will meet on Tuesday. So this is breaking news. I think this is breaking news. The WBC Board of Governors will be meeting on Tuesday to decide the numerous requests from fighters seeking a shot at the 168-pound belt left vacant by David Benavides. That's very interesting news. And what's even more interesting is from whom the requests have come. Okay, requests are in from Canelo, Callum Smith, Benavides himself, Azibek, Adorofov, and Advin Yildirim. Okay, but really the most pertinent of which would be Canelo, Callum Smith, and Benavides himself. So the question is, who are the favorites? Who are the favorites out of that bunch? Top of the bunch would clearly be Canelo, Callum Smith, Benavides himself. What are the chances that Canelo is the favorite? What are the chances that Canelo is the favorite? Well, I would venture a guess that the favorites would be either Canelo or Callum Smith. As for Benavides, I don't think they're gonna put him in that position, seeking a shot, put him in that position for a shot straight away. Or they might, but it's against who? Canelo versus Benavides. Interesting. Callum Smith versus Benavides. Yeah, maybe a tad more realistic, potentially. But yeah, I'll be able to see Canelo versus Benavides. Likewise, Callum Smith versus Benavides. I don't think Benavides is going to get a shot at Canelo after his faux pas. I just don't see it myself. I cannot see it. Let me get back into the chat, see what's going on in the chat. See if anybody's gone crazy in the chat. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so Dixon White Lightning Cider wired to the moon. Dame. Dixon Dark Fruits. So they do dark fruits. I don't know what this. I'm missing the joke. I'm missing the dark fruits joke. Everybody else is laughing. I don't know what it is. I'm missing out. It's terrible. Okay, so OMG. There's no excuse for a pro not making weight. It's very unfortunate. Pretty shabby. It's ill discipline. I mean, who else didn't make weight there? As far as I know, everybody else made weight. So why not the champion? Why not the WBC champion? Why can't 168 champion? Why can't he make weight? It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. And I don't see him getting rewarded. I don't see him getting rewarded for that shizzle. Very unprofessional. Yeah, indeed. Canelo is lobbying for that 168-pound WBC belt. Yeah, Canelo's put his name in the hat. Callum Smith's thrown his name in the hat. It's gonna be interesting, very interesting. Not like Tesco's.com didn't turn up with his greens and protein, so he had to nip down to the local chippy. Tank Trains at Burger King. Well, yeah, they should sponsor him. No doubt. Philip Carl Roberts in the building. Tank loves them kids' meals with the free crown. He's all over BK app for the deals. Madness. Canelo Smith. Canelo Smith is the fight we need. Yeah. I wonder who Canelo is going to fight. No, Benavides didn't vacate his belt. He had it stripped. Benavides was stripped of his belt because he didn't make weight. He didn't make weight for his fight with what's that fella's name? Yeah, he didn't make the weight, and so he was stripped. Didn't make the weight against Angulo, however you want to pronounce that, and so he was stripped of his WBC belt as a consequence of that. And so now it's people, the various boxers, Canelo, Callum Smith, Benavides himself has thrown his name back into the hat as the WBC Board of Governors meet tomorrow to decide upon the numerous requests from fighters seeking a shot at the 168 belt, left vacant by Benavides. So yeah, they're basically going to get they consider the requests, and they're going to nominate the guys, the two guys who are going to be fighting for it. Wouldn't it be nice if it was Callum Smith and Canelo? Wouldn't that be nice? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, stripped of his belt because he couldn't strip the weight. Indeed. Alvarez needs an opponent to fight for the vacant belt, so they're considering Benavides to fight for the belt he vacated. No, that's I think his name's David. I think it's David Benavides, is it not? I think it's David Benavides. Yeah, they're considering him. Hopefully he doesn't get the immediate shot, because that would be ridiculous. I don't think he's going to get the immediate shot, because that would look ridiculous on the WBC. That would look bad on them. Not a good look at all. So yeah, that's the situation with Benavides at 168, the 168 WBC belt. Okay. So what else is going on here? Let's move that out the way. That's redundant. What else do we have? Okay. We got some goodies. We got some more goodies to come. We got plenty of goodies to come. But first of all, I think let's move over to this story. Okay. So let's stop sharing that and start sharing. Boom. Okay. So let's move that down and commence. With this. Let's make sure you can see, or I can see. Okay. And as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let me just check something. Let me just check something now. Okay. That's good. That's clear. And what's going on in the chat before I move on with this? Where's Billy? I read that wrong. I thought you wrote where's Billy Ho? I thought, come on, James. I thought, come on, James. No need to be harsh. Well, apparently that was the list of people who'd put their name in the hat who wanted a shot at the WBC 168, and Billy Joe's name was nowhere to be found. So deduce from that what you will. But Billy Joe ain't in it. He ain't in it. He didn't throw his name in the hat. Okay, so where are we? Let us continue. Let's continue with this story. Uh-oh, didn't mean to do that. What about that? 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 Okay, let's go with that. Okay, so Travis Kaufman. I don't know if many of you saw the fight with Travis Kaufman versus Otto Valene. But yeah, it was an interesting fight. Otto Valene came out behind his jab, but funny enough, I was actually quite impressed with Kaufman. Kaufman was leaning to the side, leaning away from Valene's jabs, still getting caught by some of them, but leaning to the side and winging in hooks. It was a very competitive fight for the first 3 rounds. Very competitive, tit for tat. I like the craftiness of Kaufman. Kaufman, of course, 32-4 with 23 KOs, and so he's a wily veteran of the ring, and his craftiness showed with his hooks. I was impressed with his hooks. I thought Valene would have started off with a bit more authority. I thought he started off with a bit more authority working behind the jab, but to be honest, It was not too impressive in the first 3 rounds. It was only when he got into like the 4th round where he started to pull away. Started to be a bit more accurate with his jab, started doubling up on his jab, tripling up on his jab, and that's when he started looking good in the 4th round, around about the 4th round. And then in the 5th, it was looking good still when Kaufman, who was coming back from a shoulder operation, he just dropped one arm. I think it was his left arm. His left arm just dropped, couldn't use it no more. One has to assume it was a resurrection of the injury that forced him into surgery in the first place. The referee saw this. He let it carry on for a little bit, but Kaufman was just eating shots. And the referee had seen enough, waved off the fight, and that was it. Otto Valene emerged victorious. Okay, so this is an article about Kaufman. Okay, I'm done. I'm retiring. I've been doing this a long time. Okay, so Ato Valene picked up a 5th round stoppage after Travis Kaufman suffered an injury to his left shoulder. And the fight was waved off by the referee. Kaufman was coming off the surgery on his left shoulder, and Valene was using his distance in the first as Kaufman was looking to get inside. Kaufman was getting more aggressive in the second as Valene was still controlling the distance and landing the cleaner punches. I'd agree with that, but Kaufman was very tricky. The jab of Valene was landing often in the 3rd. He was also landing counters, uppercuts. Valene dominated the action in the 4th. Yeah, I'd agree with that. The 5th was more domination for Valene with the jab and hard shots from the distance. During the 5th round of the action, as I previously stated, it appeared that Kaufman had re-injured his left arm or shoulder, and he began he started to fight with just one hand, just a right hand. Following the fight, Kaufman explained that he was going to retire from boxing. I told my left labrum getting ready for the Luis Ortiz fight, said Kaufman. And like a dummy, I waited for 5 months to have surgery on it after the Ortiz fight, which was in December 2018. I started feeling better and was going to do a tune-up fight in March, but then COVID happened. This opportunity with Valene came up and I didn't want to pass it up, and I felt good. In the 1st round, I hurt it. I felt it, but then it went away, and I thought maybe it's just in my mind. Then in the 5th round, I heard it, and that was it. It was torn again. I'm done. I'm retiring. I have kids. I've been doing this for a long time. So what can we say? Kaufman, he has been doing it for a long time. He's been around. He's a tough guy, tough character. And I do like the hooks. I will be studying the hook of Kaufman. Very crafty, very sneaky. I like it. But yeah, you could see that he wasn't in the greatest of shape. Seemed to be carrying around a lot of baggage around the midsection, around the waist section. And at this level, you shouldn't really be coming into the ring unless you put the work in prior, in training, in camp. You got to be coming in at the appropriate weight for you. Kaufman was overweight and it's crafty. All his little craftiness wasn't enough. And whether his shoulder had gone or not, he was in line for a proper pasting. And nonetheless, you have to say thank you for your service, Kaufman. And don't need to be mixing it up with these guys if you can't throw punches without tearing up your shoulders. So good luck in the future. And at least you've saved a few brain cells in the process of retirement. So good luck to Kaufman. Good luck to him and a farewell. As for Otto Valene, well, there's been talk that he might be the guy if Tyson Fury does fight again or does fight in 2020. It looks like Otto Valene is very willing and happy to oblige. Or is he now? We're in August, the beginning of August, September, October, November. So if it was November, we'd give him 3 months. So he could have another training camp. That would be no problem at all. It's not like he took any damage. Not like he took any serious damage. So, yeah. So that would be an interesting matchup. What's going on in the chat? ZJ Georgie Porgy. thumbs up gang here. So if you just come in, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And for sure, my Twitter link is in the description box, so feel free to go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Okay, so that's done. And where are we going next? Where are we going next? No, not that. Oh, okay. Okay, this is a no-brainer. Let's stop sharing that, move that out of the way, and onto the next. We gotta talk about this one, no doubt. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, how's it looking for you? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, where are we? Let's go into the chat. Let's get into the chat. Fury's next fight will be Valene. Okay, that's interesting. I was just talking about that. Hadn't seen your comment, but yeah. Ato Valene at the end of the year, November time, November, December, January, February. Yeah, Ato Valene in November. Valene versus Fury in November. Yeah, I'll be up for that. Part 2. Why not? You know, these cats like to fight the same people, it seems, again and again. But why not do a rematch? Why not do the rematch with Valene? That would be interesting. I'd watch that. I'd happily watch that. Okay. Didn't Billy Joe Saunders turn down the Canelo offer? Yes, he did. Did he not? I'm pretty sure he did. Pretty sure he did. He said, yeah, make me a proper offer. Actually, I know he did. Yeah, I remember him saying, make me a proper offer. You're not offering me my market value. Yes, he did. Billy Joe. So, yeah, his name isn't in the hat. Who do we have here? Jeffrey de Rouzon. Just saying, what's up, Raphie? Making my presence known, been listening since the show started. Great show so far. Yes. That's Jeffrey de Rouzon. Yeah, I think I met Jeffrey. We come into contact via Facebook. So if you're not following me on any social media, take your pick. Be it Facebook on the Raphael Dawkins or Twitter on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Pretty easy to remember. Good to see you in the chat, Jeffrey de Rouzon. Good to have you. Okay. So who else we got? And don't forget, folks, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and smash all the good buttons. Okay. Well, my bag of snakes have been laid straight. That's why I come here. Facts, big facts here at the Combat Radio. Save your receipts, gentlemen, because Raphie will audit. OMG. Talking about screenshots. I was on Facebook, and it's Troy's 49th birthday. So, as a matter of fact, why don't I share that? Why don't we share that? It's his birthday. It's the man's birthday. It's only proper. It's only right and proper to give the man his proper due. So hold on. Let me do this. Where are we? Boom. I hope I'm not sharing this. Boom. Where are we? Okay, let me share. Let me share this. Okay. Never let it be said that the Raphael is not kind and gracious. Hold on, let me stop sharing that. Where is that comment? All the way up there? Damn. A lot of comments have come since that one. Okay. Never let it be said that the Raphie is not kind and gracious. Are we sharing? Okay. I think we are sharing. So let's just line this up. Okay. So you see what I can see? Okay. So it says bless up to me today. Bless up me today. 49. Let me tell you. Let me tell it. 49 has never and will never look this good again. Okay, so it's his birthday. It's the man's birthday, and there it is. So it's a happy 49th. Happy, wish the man. Let's take this. Let's give him his due respect. Let's take that thing out of the way. So give the man his due. Wish the man his happy 49th birthday. And as he says 49 will never look so good again. And it's because somebody brought up the thing. Happy birthday. You see, now you see, with comments like that, you've got me laughing. And it's making it look as if the Raphie's not being sincere. But you know, from us over here, we wish you a happy 49th birthday. So happy 49th birthday to you. OMG. Okay, drop that down there and let me get back into the chat before we proceed. And let me line up the next thing. Boom, boom, boom. Where we at? Okay, so let me get into the chat and acknowledge the people. Let me get this title back up in there. Okay, and let's get some comments. I'm pretty sure there's a video of Otto taking. No, there's a video of Otto's opponent taking a dive. Yes, there is. I remember. You triggered my memory. I have seen that video of Ato Valene's opponent taking a dive. It's quite funny. Some people are very offended by it, and I understand that. It's but it's also hilarious. Okay, so if Fury fights Valene next, the Wilder rematch clause has gone. I say, really? The rematch clause? No. No, because it all depends on what's written in the contract. If it's written in the contract, if it's not stipulated in the contract that he can't fight anybody in between fight, he can't take in between fights. Yeah, then he's a breach of contract. But as you know, Bob Arum is a qualified lawyer, and he's not gonna fall for any little banana skins like that. Hold on a second. He's not the one making the fight. That's Frank Warren. Okay, well, Frank Warren has some well-paid lawyers on his books, so he's not going to fall for any banana skins like that. So if he does take a fight before the next Wilder fight, then I don't think he's going to be breaching any contract. That would be crazy. But talking about Bob Arum, Bob Arum has come out and said that the intention is to get a fight this year for Fury. That is the goal. That is the objective. That is the intention. However, if they can't get live crowds, then that's when it will be pushed back to February. But his wish is to have it this year. But I don't care how much he wishes. If there's no live crowds and they can't fight without live crowds, apparently they can't fight without live crowds because the money ain't going to be right without live crowds. They got 17 million last time. And that fight, some people say it didn't break even, but let's say it broke even. And let's say it not only broke even, but made a little bit of a profit. Let's say it not only broke even, but it made a bit of a profit. Well, if that's the case, then the profit margins are tight. The profit margins are tight. So without the 17 million, is it even possible to do the fight and pay the guys what they expect? You know, without the live crowds, what we're looking at, without the live, and it's not just the live crowd. It's not just the money from the live gate. It's the fee site. It's the site that these Vegas casinos will pay to have the fight at their venue, or these Vegas venues, not just casinos, these Vegas venues. It's the money that they will pay to have the fight in their venue. And not only that, not only the site fees, but you got the site fees, then you got the closed circuit TV fees. So you get a fee for closed circuit, so people in and around the venue, they get feeds in whichever venue they are. And those fees were something like 3 million last time around. So you're talking 17 million from the gate. You're talking a site fee on top of that. What, 3 million? Let's say 3 million, could be more. You're talking 17 million from the gate, 3 million for the site fee, another 3 million for the closed circuit TV. That's 6 million. That's 17 plus 6. So that's what? That's 23. That's 23 million. So without having said that, yeah, crowds can't gather. So the closed circuit thing wouldn't be an option. Yeah, so you're talking about if there's no crowds, and you're talking about a loss of somewhere in the region of 23 million. Out of that 23 million, how much would the fighters get? Half of 23. What's that? 12.5. So the fighters get 12.5 pot to split between them. That's a 12.5 pot split in half. That's a 6.25. But remember, this time around, it's not so much 50-50, it's 60-40. So now we're looking at Fury getting something like, what, 7, 8? And Wilder getting 4, 5? Yeah. So still, are you going to walk away from 4 million, 5 million? Are you going to walk away from 7 million, 8 million? Fury clearly is prepared to walk away from the 7.5 mil. But is Wilder prepared to walk away from his 4.5 mil? He hasn't come out with any objections. He hasn't come out saying, yeah, he wants to fight this year too. He's in no rush. He's been quiet. He's been silent. He ain't said jack diddly. He ain't said no thing. Could it be? Could it be that Tyson Fury is longing to finally mix it up with Anthony Joshua? Could that be the case? He's just trying to rush the process? Come on, let's get Wilder out of the way. I beat you once. I beat you twice. You big dusser. Come on, let me bash you again. Fury's in a rush to bash Deontay Wilder up again. Is it because he's looking at Joshua? Is he eyeing up that life-changing money, Joshua money? Is that what it is? For two fights? For 2 fights? Is that what it is? Okay, so disgraceful. He should be going for Dillian. Should be going for Dillian White. Yes. Nozabida up in the building. Fury is signed to fight Wilder in December the 19th. That is my understanding. Yes, he is signed to fight Wilder, and the date touted was December. In December, yes, but Bob Arum has come out and said that if there's no crowds in December, then he'll be looking to push the fight back till February. So Bob Arum has said, I repeat, Bob Arum has said if there's no crowds in December, then they'll be looking to push the fight back till February 2021, around the time when they should be making a deal. The winner of that fight should be making a deal with Dillian White. So that's the problem. That's where February comes into it, and that's where December goes out. If there's no crowds, Bob Arum ain't interested in that fight. Because like I said, there's 23 million. 23 million gets left on the table without no crowds. And clearly, persons or parties do not want to leave 23 million on the table. They don't want to leave that. They don't want that to evaporate. And yeah, you can understand that. But Tyson Fury isn't concerned with that. He just wants to get the fight done and over with. He just wants to bash Deontay Wilder up one more time and move on with his life? Move on to Joshua? You be the judge. Okay. So, both Warren and Aram have said, well, it's Aram. Warren doesn't want. Warren isn't interested in fighting, in pushing the fight back to 2021. He wants to fight now. He wants to fight 2020. And he says if he gets pushed back to 2021, then Fury wants to fight before the end of 2020. That's what's going down. Yeah, could get pushed back to February. Happy birthday, Troy. OMG. All fun and games over here. It's all in good humor. All in good humor. All in good humor over here. Okay. So, OMG. Ray's up in the building says the body snatcher needs his shot. He's been saying it's strap season. The other heavyweights are saying it's duck season. Big boys boxing up in the building. Okay, so Fury will not fight Wallin because Wallin is better than advertised. I think he'll fight Sefa Safiri. OMG, what, the rematch with Sefa Safiri? The long-awaited Sefa Safiri rematch? OMG. OMG. Okay, so imagine if Wallin beat Fury. Oh, that would be crazy. That would be. Well, then he'd be lineal. Then he would be lineal. Yeah. Yeah, then Wallin would be the lineal champion. Lineal big dosser. Okay. Frank would be shoulder. Yeah, Frank would. I'm sure Frank would have to do Frank would probably do a Don King with that one. Then he'd say, put a little clause in Wallin's, secret clause in Wallin's contract, saying, if you beat my boy, you come and work for me then, will you? Yeah, that's how it's gonna have to be. We'll buy you out your contract. Don't worry anything about that shoulder roll. You don't have to worry about anything. You just sign this piece of paper. Yeah, Don King taught me this trick. Shoulder roll too. Yeah, I'd be shoulder rolling all the way. Shoulder rolling all the way. Well, yeah, but they did have highly inflated ticket prices for that second fight. Well, expensive, shall we say. Perhaps it's unfair to me to say highly inflated, but let's just say inflated ticket prices. Let's just say high ticket prices. Yes. Pablo Diablo up in the building. I still don't think Wilder versus Fury gate was anywhere near 17 mil. Yeah, it's dodgy. It's strange. It's a strange one. It is a strange one. But listen, they did have expensive tickets. I bought a ticket for the first one for 200, what worked out to be about 200 and something pounds. And apparently you couldn't get a ticket for 200 and something pounds for the second fight. So, highly inflated. They knew there was high demand. So maybe did they fleece the punters? I don't know. You be the judge of that one. Wilder has a dent in his cheek. He said Fury gave him a dent in his cheek. Oh, why to get his hands on Wilder? It grieves me. It grieves my soul to think that Wilder might retire without Dillian White ever getting to grips with him. Without Dillian White ever having the chance to put paws on him. It would grieve me. It would grieve my soul if Wilder retired without facing White. I don't think he has any intention. I don't think he ever had any intention of facing Anthony Joshua. But then if he's not going to face Anthony Joshua for huge money, then why would he face White for decent money? Unless he thought he could beat White. But I have seen nothing out of Deontay Wilder which suggests to me that he thinks that he could have beat White. he would beat White. Because if he did feel that, then surely he would have taken his career high purse at that time. Something like to fight White. I think the offer from White was somewhere in the region of $8 million, the final one. Final offer from White to fight Wilder was somewhere in the region of $8 million, which would have been, at that time, Deontay Wilder's career high purse, and Deontay Wilder simply turned it down. So you have to ask the question, why? Why? Flying visit, says Pablo Diablo. Keep smashing it, fam. 100%, you know, the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio over here, you know, it's a consistency. Consistently putting out at least 3 live shows per week for your delectation. I think last week we probably did about 6 live shows. Probably did at least about 6 live shows. So we're looking at 3 live shows minimum. Pretty much a video every day. Video every day keeps the doctors away. Don't quote me on that. Okay. AJ only interested in the WBC strap. Fury has to fight White or vacate. Yes, yes, yes. And if he vacates, then would Joshua fight him if he vacated? I don't know. What's the point? I suppose he would. I suppose he would fight him. Yeah, I suppose he would fight him. He'd still fight him. Yeah, I think he would still fight him. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon. 100%. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Pablo. I hope you're doing well. All in jest. All in jest. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, Pablo. Take care. My amigo. Okay. So, where are we? Yeah, Wallen will become millennial if he does that. Millennial champion with a Swedish accent. Fury doesn't want to be another vivisection victim at the gloves of Ato Valene. And remember, Ato Valene did that the old wrist rub. He did the old wrist rub on the eye. Remember the old wrist rub? He was pulling out some of them old school tricks. Average tickets at 850. That's high, even with a couple thousand VIPs. Yeah. Those figures are very. It's when you do the maths on it. It's like, where the hell did all that money come from? Unless they're saying the gate was that figured. Are they talking about the site fee? Was the site fee lumped in with that? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe they lumped in the site fee with that. I don't know. I have to talk to Rick. I have to talk to Rick about that on the Wednesday. Mind you, I think you raised that topic before. I think you raised that topic on Wednesday gone. Okay. So where are we? It's the Shiz Biz up in the building. AJ would fight White first. Undisputed is a big prize. It's one hell of a big prize. That makes sense. Fight. If Fury vacates the belt, then I'd expect to see AJ. Well, if Fury vacates the belt, then they're going to set up. The WBC would set up what? They would set up. They would set up White. I don't think they just say, "Okay, here you are. You're the champion now because you're the interim champ. Fury's vacated, so you graduate to the full champ." I don't think they'd do that. I think they'd say, "Okay, yeah, here you go, fight." A lot of people think they'd say fight Luis Ortiz. I don't think so. I think they've set up. I think the setup is in, as Andy Ruiz would say. It's a setup. I think it's set up nicely for Andy Ruiz now. He's going to be fighting Chris Areola. And obviously he's going to beat Chris Areola. How old is Areola now? About 39? 39, shop worn. No disrespect, shop worn. Yeah. People say, well, yeah, he threw a record amount of punches against. Who was he fighting when he threw a record amount of punches? Kawanaki. Yeah, he threw a record amount of punches against Kawanaki. That was the highest highest punch count of any heavyweight boxing fight ever since they've been recording the punch stats. But that don't matter. He can throw as much punch as he wants. Still going to get knocked out. He's going to get brutally knocked out. In fact, it's a mismatch, and it's a cruel mismatch. I think Areola is going to lose some brain cells. He's not the most evasive fighter. He's not exactly pillow-fisted, but he's not heavy-handed either. So I do predict that Chris Areola is going to lose some brain cells when he steps up against Andy Ruiz, Andreas the Punch Ruiz. And do I have a window open with that article? I've had that article now for about a week, 2 weeks, ever since they made that matchup. Closed it. Closed that window. That window no longer exists. But yeah, it's official. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can just randomly find the article that I'm thinking of. Likes. Let's see if I can scroll down and find the shiznix. So many windows open. It is unreal. Oh, damn. I hate to brag, but damn, I'm good. And if the mic was a gun, I'd be Clint Eastwood. Okay, so let me share this one. Stop sharing that one. Have I even gone to that one yet? I haven't even gone to that one yet. We're going to get into that one very, very shortly. But I don't think I've done an official announcement on this. I was going to do a video on it. Haven't got around to doing it. I'm back at work now, more hours. So, you know, time is of the essence. But fortunately, I pick my own hours, booking times, etc., booking slots. So, you know, it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. I got spaces. So now I'm going to have some spaces tomorrow, Tuesday. Going to have some big spaces on Tuesday. So hopefully I can make the most of that time. I don't mean just online. I'm talking about real life, not just online life, but definitely want to get some work done online also. Okay, so I think you can see what I can see. Okay, so Andy Ruiz Jr. and Chris Areola have agreed in principle to a fight slated for late 2020. Sources tell Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio that Ruiz's first fight since he lost 3 heavyweight titles to Anthony Joshua, 2 Mexican heavyweights who slug. Yep, it's official. It's been agreed in principle. It's officially been agreed in principle. And over here, Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio says, can't say I'm overwhelmed. Okay, so that's how it's going to go. What? That's how it's going to go down. It's going to be Ruiz versus Chris Areola. Okay, and the reason I brought that up, of course, is because we were just talking about how it's going to go down. If Dillian White, yeah, we're still going to talk about Dillian White. We've yet to talk about Dillian White. We shall talk about Dillian White very shortly. But if Dillian White gets past Povetkin, we're going to talk about that fight in a few minutes. If Dillian White gets past Povetkin and Tyson Fury relinquishes his WBC belt, then I think that the WBC would say to White, they'd say, okay, cool. You go ahead and fight Andy Ruiz, Andreas the Punch Ruiz. You go ahead and fight him for the WBC championship, and it's set up nicely. Look at the setup. Look at the play. Watch the play. It's set up nicely. Ruiz gets an easy fight against Areola, whilst Dillian White has opted to fight Povetkin, Alexander Povetkin. Now that's one tough fight. That's one tough son of a gun. That's one seasoned son of a gun. Do we talk about this now? We're here. We're kind of talking about it. Yeah. So I might as well talk about it. Let's talk about it. And let's find, well, actually, before I do anything else, let me get back into the chat, see what people are saying in the chat. She's biz up in the building. Yeah, AJ would fight White for undisputed, for sure. if White gets through Povetkin. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at that now. The Lennox laces into the cut. Beautiful, dirty boxing. Beautiful, dirty boxing. Beautiful technique. Beautiful technique. The WBC will probably create another belt. The lineal gypsy belt. Dame. Pillow hand. Khan throws a lot of punches until he gets sparked out. Andy Ruiz versus Areola. Not even newsworthy. Ruiz is wasting his opportunity. Well, it's not newsworthy, but is he wasting his opportunity? No, I think he's taking his opportunity. He's taking the opportunity to get himself in position for a shot at the WBC crown. That's what it is. So it ain't wasting an opportunity. It's maximizing an opportunity. It's a very skillful and crafty move. Am I interested in that fight? No, not at all. But it sets Andy Ruiz up for bigger and better things, namely the WBC, namely a shot at the WBC belt. Heavyweight, of course. Okay. Got to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, girls and boys. Okay, so let's get into. Well, actually, yeah, let's do that now. Let's do that now. Let me do a quick reshuffle. And find the relevant article. That's a potential. I could use that one. Okay, so I think I may use that one. May I or may I not? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this one. Let's go with this one. Okay, so let's get this in the relevant place. Stop sharing that. And start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's line this up so you can see their faces. What's going to happen here? Click on that. They're still sharing? Yep, I think so. Okay, so Dillian White versus Alexander Povetkin date. UK start time, full card and tail of the tape for the heavyweight clash this coming weekend. Okay, so Dillian White's clash with Alexander Povetkin is finally set to go ahead this weekend following its problems due to the corona pandemic. Britain's body snatcher was set to take on the tough Russian in Manchester back in May, but the exciting fight was put back due to the pandemic lockdown. It was hoped that White versus Povetkin could usher in the return of elite sport, but the clash was shelved. Clash was shelved. Now, several weeks on, the two heavyweights are set. Several weeks, isn't it? A couple of months, like several months, couple of months down the line, the two heavyweights are set to go toe to toe in the biggest bout since boxing has returned. Okay, so there's Dillian White in his Tesco security guard coat. Okay, is that the Tesco security guard coat? I'm not sure. I think the Tesco security guard coat was actually blue, similar to this one, but blue. My bad. What is this? What's going on? Where's the article? Oh, there it is. Okay, so White versus Povetkin. Yeah, we know White beat Marius Wack in Saudi Arabia last December. Povetkin was also on that card over there in Diriyah under the Anthony Joshua undercard in the rematch. Yeah, Povetkin was fighting the American Michael Hunter, son of the bounty hunter. He's the son of the bounty hunter who got shot by Police. Talking about his father. So Michael Hunter's the bounty hunter 2, or maybe he's got a totally different nickname. I can't remember. Okay. So the two heavyweights who have both lost to Joshua were set to meet. Yep. Okay. Let's get to the pertinent points now. They will finally meet up on Saturday, August the 22nd, at Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Fight Camp. That's my birthday weekend, by the way. That's my birthday weekend. So this is like one of my birthday presents. And of course, you know that I'll be going live. To cover this fight. So everybody make sure that if you're watching the fight, if you've ordered the fight, you haven't ordered the fight, don't worry. Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, we have ordered the fight. Thanks to you and your donations, it has made it possible for us to order that Sky pay-per-view so that we can share the moment over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. We'll be covering that. Okay, so the main event will get underway around 10 p.m. for the UK fans. Well, there's an exciting rematch between Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon on the undercard. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's this weekend. I am excited. I know you're probably excited as well. Dillian's taken on a tough one. It's fighting Povetkin, whilst Andreas the Punch Ruiz is over there going to be fighting Chris Areola. OMG. There's Eddie Hearn in the background there, in the backdrop, in his garden, or in his dad's previous garden that used to be their family home, turned it into the Matchroom headquarters. I don't know. Did they grow out of it, or did they finally look around and say, how come we're living in this bloody huge house? Why are we living in this bloody huge house? Turn it into offices. I would have imagined they've downsized. I would imagine they're downsized rather than upsized. That'd be crazy, because that house is huge. I mean, maybe I could go back into the history of the house and actually dig up the history, find out the first owner, who was the first owner of that house, because it is of ridiculously large proportions. Okay, so White versus Povetkin fight card. Headlining Dillian White, Alexander Povetkin, WBC interim heavyweight title. Of course, Dillian White is the current WBC interim title holder. Beneath them, you have Katie Taylor versus Delphine Persoon, fighting for the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, and Ring female lightweight titles. Who else is there? Luther Clay versus Chris Congo, WBO global welterweight. And Jack Cullen versus Zach Chele. White versus Povetkin, Taylor of the tape. Nationality, British versus Russian. 32-year-old versus 40-year-old. 6'4" versus 6'2". Orthodox versus Orthodox. Reach, Dillian White 78, Povetkin 75. Record 70-27. 1-0, 35, 2-0. The only person that Dillian White has lost to is Anthony Joshua. The only two people that Alexander Povetkin has lost to is Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko. And if you've ever seen that Vladimir Klitschko fight, if you've ever seen Klitschko versus Povetkin, you will know that Klitschko was fighting very dirty in that fight, pulling his head down, trying to drag him to the floor. Rag him to the floor rather than drag him to the floor. Absolutely crazy. KOs 18 versus 24. Rounds 155 versus 255. The body snatcher versus Russian Zityaz. What's a Zityaz? What is a Zityaz? Boom. Revealing his fears. Yeah, okay. There's a whole lot of writing. Underneath that. Whole lot of writing underneath that. Not really interested in all that stuff, all that gunk. I think we know. We know it's going down. We know when it's going down. We know the dangers. We know the dangers of this Shizniks. Very dangerous fight for Dillian White, but he keeps on taking on dangerous opponents. And yeah, this fight is no exception to that. Okay, so where are we? Ruiz won't get a shot till 2020 at the earliest. Wilder, White, AJ, all in line before the chubby checker. Well, don't underestimate. I say don't underestimate Mauricio Suleiman's desire to have a Mexican-American champion. And so if Fury does vacate, then you will see, I say, you will see Dillian White versus Andreas Tapanch Ruiz in 2020. Okay. And let me check something while I remember. Let's have a look. Okay, that's in order. Okay, boom. Let's come out of that. Let's get into some more comments. I expect Dillian to apply pressure and break Povetkin down in the late rounds, 8-12. 8-12. That's a good call. Because after around the 7th round, Povetkin starts getting a little tired. But Dillian White will need to be in great cardio condition. Cardio physio. I forget the word I'm looking for. You have to be great in cardio condition. Little security code. OMG. Yeah. Son of Doug the Bounty Hunter. No, the original Bounty Hunter, the original boxing Bounty Hunter. Michael is the son of the Bounty Hunter. How old is Raphie? Older or younger than Troy? Well, Raphie is young and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? No special effects over here. OMG. Shane Boatsi versus Kaufman is off. Yeah, I hadn't heard that. I didn't know it was off. What? Who's dropped out? Alan Bake versus Shondell Winters is on the card as well, announced yesterday. Yeah, I saw Shondell Winters against who was it? Parker. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be in any rush to watch Shondell Winters anytime soon. It's like a make weight. James Jameson, absolutely. Thank you, Philip Carl Roberts. Thank you. That is, of course, correct. Okay, so is there any other data? 1940s. Good night, sweetheart. OMG. Okay, so let's have a look if there's any other sources for this fight. Let me have a little quick scroll. Stop sharing that. Move that along. Stop sharing that and start sharing this. Boom. No, not that. Boom. Let's have a look. Because I know there's some stuff. In here that I'd highlighted relating to the Dillian White Povetkin fight. Can I see it? Where is it? Did I see something? Did I just see? Nope. Okay, so that's that. That's what we got. That's what we got on. That's the file on Dillian White versus Povetkin. That's the file on that. Let's have a look. Kaufman dropped out due to his father being really ill with. That's unfortunate. I hope the best. Wish them the best on that. Let's stop sharing that and start sharing what I was sharing before. Where is it? OMG. Yeah, there it is. Boom. Okay. So we're looking at Jessica McCaskill, decisions, Cecilia Brækhus in a big shocker. Okay, so I saw the fight. You saw the fight. It was an interesting one. It was a very interesting scrap indeed. And as some of you may know, Cecilia Brækhus was on 24 fights, 24 title defenses over a 6 to 7 year span. And this fight against McCaskill, would have taken her to 25, in which case she would have beat Joe Louis' record of 25 continuous title wins. As I said, Cecilia Brækhus, she was on 24. This fight was for the 25th. If she gets the 25th, then she's exceeded and she's beat Joe Louis' record. But alas, it was not to be, because Gaskill, how do you pronounce her name? McCaskill. Jessica McCaskill. Jessica McCaskill had other ideas, other things in mind. Took the fight to Brækhus, took the fight to her early, and basically put it on her. It took Brækhus a little while to adjust. But it's interesting to note that Father Time, or in this case perhaps Mother Time, may have played a role, may have played a factor in this thing. You see Cecilia over here on the left, with the, what is that, Danish? Is she Danish or Norwegian? Norwegian flag. I'm going to go Norwegian flag. Norwegian lady, the first lady of boxing, self-proclaimed. And if she's been an unbeaten champ for 6-7 years, then yeah, I think she had a strong shout for that. So the first lady of boxing, it has to be noted, is 37 years of age. Or is she 38? 37 or 38 years of age. And whereas McCaskill is a surprising 35 years of age. So he had 38 versus 35. They put on a scrap. They put on one hell of a scrap. It took the 38-year-old first lady of boxing a couple of rounds to adjust to the very aggressive McCaskill. Once she regained her composure, she came up with a plan, tried to work behind the jab, but McCaskill's job was to crowd her out, stifle Brækhus's work, and she walked away. She walked away the victor, and claimed the WBC title from Brækhus. Was it the WBC title that Brækhus had? It was for the WBO. Well, now she's unified because it was for the WBO, IBF, IBO, WBA, WBC welterweight titles. So now she is the unified unified champion at a junior welterweight. Okay. I don't know which belt she came in with originally, but now she walks away with all of the belts. As the title, as the piece says, McCaskill prevented Brackus from making history by breaking the consecutive defense record of heavyweight legend Joe Louis, who had a streak of 25 wins. Oh, damn. Who had a streak of 25. So was she on 24? Or was she on 25 as well? She may have been on 25 as well. So this one would have exceeded it. Damn. Yeah. So that is the tale. McCaskill was very game and had solid moments of success in the bout. Brackus was the much bigger fighter and was able to take the hard shots that McCaskill would connect with. McCaskill had the edge in the first half, with Brackus getting the edge in the second half. It was a very close fight. I'd be interested to know how you guys had it. Who did you have as a winner? Incidentally, here in the corner of Brackus, she got rid of what was his name? Jonathan Banks. She got rid of Jonathan Banks as a trainer and went with Sanchez guy. I'm not the biggest fan of the Sanchez guy. He's too brawl orientated. He's too brawl orientated. Remember, Joe Joyce was with him for a while and then left him. Joe Joyce said that he likes Sanchez, but his style was really just to use what you got and get in there and just scrap. Whereas Joe Joyce said he wanted somebody with a little bit more finesse, with a bit more of a finesse angle. And interestingly enough, would perhaps the finesse would have helped Brackus in this situation, but she dumped Banks and went with Sanchez. Wise move or not? You be the judge. McCaskill there, fighting out to Chicago. Does she still live in Chicago? She was homeless for a time, and now she has 2 full-time jobs, one as a banker and the other one as a boxer, the banking boxer. Okay, so that's the story. I'm really not sure about these swirly cane rolls. I'm really not sure about it. Looks kind of weird. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Not knocking it, but whatever. There it is. Not sure about the swirls. Could have just gone with the straight cane rolls there. But anyway, that is the tale. What say you? Where we at? You see, BB sports video. Mel Charlo was beefing him. The BB sports video. Christian Allen up in the building. You haven't been here for a long time, Christian. Where you been? And who's BB? Oh, Blue Blood? Oh, beefing him. Okay, no, I'll check that out. At some point later. Okay, cool. And the gang. Damn, nobody deserves that. What are we talking about there? Do not compare her to Joe Louis. If you can't compare you can't compare the women's game to the men's. Yes, absolutely more. The men's game is far more established. Absolutely. Joe Louis is one of the best to ever do it. Women's boxing should stand on its own. 2-minute rounds. My, oh my. Well, let's talk about 2-minute rounds. I think Shannon Courtney came out before her fight and said that women's round should be 3 rounds. Women should be able to fight for 3-minute rounds. And what do I say to that? I say move it up to 2:30. Move the rounds up to 230. I think one of the reasons why there's not as many knockouts in women's boxing is that, well, the women aren't as strong as the men. That's for one, but a secondary reason. That's probably the primary reason, but the secondary reason is that a lot of knockdowns, a lot of knockouts take place, arguably when a fighter is tired. And so the fact that these 2-minute rounds prevent the women from going into a state where they're super tired and getting knocked out, I think it's good for their brain. I think it's healthy for their brain. It's healthy for the brains of women not to go 3-minute rounds, because that's when the brain starts to get rattled the most, when the fighter is tired. So I think the 2-minute rounds is very safe for the women, for the ladies. When I say push it up to 230, I say don't go 3 minutes, because that could be the danger zone, but go 230. That's a happy compromise. 2.5-minute rounds for the ladies. That is what I propose over here, Raphie Dawkins Combat Radio. James Jameson, I agree. She wasn't even a heavyweight either. When the announcer said that she could beat Joe Louis' record, I laughed. It was laughable. It was ridiculous and disrespectful, says James Jameson. I think Bracas was undisputed going into the fight, but I'm not sure. Undisputed, she was certainly unified. She was certainly unified at the very least, but she could have been undisputed. I just looked it up. Bracas was undisputed. Dame. I thought she was unified, but she was undisputed. Okay. Well, it's undisputed now that she's no longer undisputed. Because now it is McCaskill who is undisputed. 2 minutes, 30 seconds and handbags, I say. Well, if they want to take their handbags into the ring, they just got to pass that by the commissioner. Just run that by the commissioner and see what he says. See what he has to say about it. Okay, so where are we now? Let's have a look. Oh, okay, we got another juicy one. We've got juicy one after juicy one after juicy one. Where are we? Okay, so let's move that along. Move along. Stop sharing that. And start sharing. Do I share this? WBC Prez. No, I don't. That's too juicy. That is simply too juicy. That's too juicy. Where's that? I'm gonna have to put that to one side. That's too much juice on that one. That one is dripping in juice. We can't have that. We have to put that to one side. What's going on here? Close that down. Matter of fact, mute that down so I don't get no interruptions. And close that down. Okay, let me do some check. Let me do a check over here. Let me see how the shape of things. Let's take a looky. Let's take a little looky. Where are we? Let's have a look. What's it saying? Okay. I see what's going on over there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's nice. That is nice. And but was she lineal? That's a damn good question. Nobody's talking about lineal. Until Tyson Fury started bringing up the lineal chat, lineal talk. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Y'all must have forgot. Let's get into this one. Boom, boom, boom. Damn, I did the boom. I did the last boom too quick. But we can't ignore this one. What is this? What is this? What is this? Okay, it's open sesame. Open sesame. Okay, so Carl Frampton flattens Darren Trainer with a brutal body shot to set up a world title fight against Jamel Herring. Okay, so Carl Frampton stopped Darren Trainer in the 7th round to set up his title fight with Jamel Herring in November. Okay, the 33-year-old had no problems with the late opponent and weight changes, delivering a composed performance from start to finish. Okay, so what's going on? So Beat Boxing on BT Sports said, you would not want to be on the end of that. Carl Frampton ends the fight with a perfect body shot. Round of applause. Standing ovation. Okay, let's see. Let's go into the danger zone.
These body shots.
We're going into the danger zone. What's this here? 14 seconds. 14 seconds. How long is it going to take him to actually deliver the shot? And let's kill the volume. Okay. See him there. Switching to his left. Transferring the balance. And there goes the delivery. You see the weight shift. You see the weight shift as he switches his weight. The balance shifts onto more towards the left leg. Take a little looky. Okay, so you can see his balance there is more, what do you call it? More directed to the back leg there. His right leg, his rear leg. And then you will see at some point that the balance shifts more in favor to the left. And that's when he's going to bring in that hook there to the floating rib. Okay, let's go. Boom. Let's go again. Boom. OMG. OMG. Right in the floating rib. Right in the floating rib. Boom. Yeah, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at the guy, but it's just like he said, okay, that's it. I've had enough abuse. I've had enough of this. I'm out of here. And yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. One more time with feeling. Oy. Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm not going to take that kind of abuse. And that's all she wrote. So, where are we? Yeah, the fight began with Frampton. Yeah, we know about that, using his speed advantage. Northern Ireland's Jackal. Or I say Jackal. Zipped in and out of range, landing clean shots, while his opponent was left punching thin air. Trainer was not without any success earlier on, but ultimately looked outclassed and overmatched, as expected. The 5th was a positive round for the Scot, and this seemed to irk Frampton, who fired back with spite towards the end of the session. Okay. Okay, so in the picture here, who do we have? We got Frampton and Jamel Herring. Okay, so Herring awaits Frampton's challenge. The Triumph has set up, let's get this right. The Triumph has set up Frampton for a world title shot against WBO super featherweight champion Jamel Herring in November. This means he's now just one win away from capturing Irish boxing history. There's been two weight world champions before. Frampton told Raphael Dawkins earlier in the week. I'm proud to have joined that company, but I think to stand alone as the only 3-weight world champion is really historic. So Frampton is looking to stand alone as the island's only 3-weight world champion. Okay, looking to overtake. He's looking to overtake Barry McGuigan, as Ireland's finest. I want to create a legacy in this sport, and I think winning the world title in my third division gives me the ticket to the Hall of Fame. It makes people realize, and myself realize, probably I'd be comfortable to call myself the greatest fighter Ireland has ever produced. Damn, as 3-weight world champion. My kids would be proud of me. The people that have always supported me would be proud of me. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for legacy. Okay, so that's the words. Those are the words of Frampton. And now let's take a look at the words of Jamel Herring.
I don't give a damn. I am going to be Carl's biggest fan this whole entire fight. Let's go, Jackal. I had to get up close for this fight. I don't give a damn. I am going to be Carl's biggest fan this whole entire fight. Let's go, Jackal. Okay, so
Jamal Herring, he wants it. Frampton says he wants it. Bob Arms there, standing betwixt the both of them. Let's have it. Let us have it. And who do you have winning that fight between Jamal Herring and Carl Frampton? I'll put that out to you. Put your answers in the comments section, both now and in the future. Okay, let's get back to the comment section, see what people are saying. OMG. If I wanted to see chicks fight, I'd stand outside with the spoons, 12 midnight on a Saturday. Damn. Would you pay for an all-female card? It's a no-no for me. Well, you know, the way I see it right now, with the right fight, with the right women's fight on the card, it can be quite interesting. I think that's what's happening now. They're throwing in a woman's fight on these big cards, and they can be quite interesting. Nobody can tell me they didn't enjoy the Shannon Courtney versus Rachel Ball fight. Nobody can tell me they didn't enjoy that. It was quite enjoyable. What was the other one? Cecilia Brackus versus Jessica McCaskill. That was an interesting fight. What was the one before that? There was one recently where Estrada kind of starched whatever that girl's Adkins. When Estrada starched Adkins in a record 8 seconds. That was an interesting fight as well, perhaps for the wrong reasons, but nonetheless interesting. So they're bringing a different look. Would I want to see an all-female card? Well, you know, I got to be honest with you. Some of the cards we see, some of the fights on the cards we see, I mean, they're not exactly scintillating. So I'll leave it at that. Okay. Herring. Has he a long neck? Oh, Herring. Oh, I don't know. I've never really looked at his neck. I've never really looked at the size of it. I don't know if Boxrec keep stats on the neck size. I'm not sure about that. Herring has been unfortunate in this world crisis. He's tested positive twice. Yeah. And apparently the last time he tested positive, they tested him again for the COVID. Tested him again the next day, and he was negative. So it's So, you know, it's one of those. It's one of those. Not usually a stoppage punch. Well, I tell you what, if you get it right, it's a stoppage punch. Tell that to the original. Tell that to the real body snatcher, Mike McCallum. However you want to pronounce that. Tell that to the real body snatcher, Mike McCallum, Jamaica's pride and joy at the time. China had been down from a body shot in the previous round. It would not have lasted long had he continued. No, he was out. He was sickening blow. Yeah. Need to learn more about Herring. I think Herring beats Frampton, but it's probably a close call. Yeah, Herring would be the favorite. I think Herring would be the favorite to beat Frampton, but I tell you what, it's a fight I'd watch. I'm not really interested in these little guys when they're fighting mediocre opponents, but when the little guys fight the best of the best in their division, that's when the Raphie becomes interested. But as for these Mickey Mouse fights, you know, this Frampton versus Trainer, sorry, it's not to the caliber that the Raphie found pleasing. It's not to the caliber that the Raphie found pleasing. I don't know. James Jameson might be onto it. James Jameson might be onto something. The neck does look kind of long there. James might be Nostradamus, or I don't know if he's been studying the neck of Herring, but it does look kind of long there. He might be onto something. I don't know what it means, but he might be onto something. Where are we? I think Herring beats Frampton, but it's probably a close call. Wild boar sandwiches. Who's on the wild boar sarnies? Where are we? Even if you had Taylor versus Pursoon, Courtney versus Ball, and Brackus McCaskill on the card together, you would still need a Derek Chisora on there to drag sales, to draw in sales. Yes, to draw them in. James Jameson's onto something with a long neck. I don't know. James Jameson might be a neckologist. OMG. Okay. What are we saying? Dame. And we've come up to the 2-hour mark. We've come up to the 2-hour mark of the show. Let me stop sharing that. I clicked that. I didn't need to click that to stop sharing. It. But I think I can click this to stop sharing it. Dame. As I clicked it, I had a bit of a fret, bit of a worry. I thought I was clicking the wrong thing, but I clicked the right thing. And I think, is there anything else that I wish to share right now? Is there anything else that I wish to share right now? Going live tomorrow as well, probably in the daytime. You know, Raphie's back at work now. So I'm having to time manage very carefully. Make my bookings very carefully. Shows around the bookings. Let's have a look to see if anything. Shall I finish with this one? Yeah, this one looks funny. Funny. OMG, this is hilarious. This one is hilarious. So, marker captured. I'm going to have to share this one. Definitely going to have to share this one. Let's take a step back before I go in. Okay, let's share this. Let's share this. Boom. Okay, am I seeing you seeing what I'm seeing? What's going on here in the chat? Long legs, long neck. Herrings are renowned for it. Dame. Okay. So, where are we? Where are we? Yes. So let's get into this. Boom. Oh yeah. So for anybody in the chat who's enjoying the show, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Which other buttons? Yeah. I think that's it. I think we're good. So let's get into this story. What did it say? Okay, it says that Barker says AJ confronted him over Fury prediction and shouted, "I'm going to F him up." Okay, so where are we? Let's get into it. Let's get into it right now. Okay, so Darren Barker reveals Anthony Joshua confronted him over Tyson Fury fight prediction and shouted, "I'm going to F him up." Damn. So he caught Anthony Joshua in fiery mood. Okay, so Darren Barker has told the story of Anthony Joshua recently confronting him after he predicted Tyson Fury would win when they fight. The former IBF middleweight champion picked the Gypsy King when asked for his thoughts on Sky TV. Okay, so where are we? Yeah. However, he was unaware they were going to show a collection of pundits' predictions to AJ during his next interview on Sky Sports News. And it appears he remembered who picked against him. So Barker told IFL TV, Sky told me they were doing a poll. Who do you think would win out of Joshua and Fury? And I said currently, now, I'd have to go with Fury. It's a sport at the end of the day. Don't get wound up about opinions. It's only a sport. It's not life. Okay, said Barker. Okay, former IBF middleweight title holder, 2013. I've known Anthony for a long time. I'm driving to pick my sister up over in West London somewhere. So I'm pulled up at the traffic lights, and behind me, I can see AJ in the rear view mirror. I put my hand out to wave. I got his attention, and he put his window down, and he goes, "Hey, Barker, you pick Fury, man. You pick Fury." I went, look, you know, it is what it is. Only a sport, blah, blah, blah. I look forward to you proving me wrong, said Barker, with a nice little retort there. Okay, there's Joshua meeting up with Fury. Both white t-shirt brigade in Marbella. Okay, and he went, "Barker, trust me, man. I'm going to F him up. Then he drove off, shouted, "I'm going to F him up." It's a sport at the end of the day. I've got to admit, my a-hole did go a flutter. Darren Barker confesses that his a-hole fluttered. OMG. Okay, so Anthony Joshua clearly has his own thoughts and observations about how a fight between he and the self-proclaimed Gypsy King, the questionable lineal champion, AJ has his own thoughts about how that's going to go down. And this gonna be good. Tom Fury and crack pottery. Oh dear. Don King will be 89 on the 20th of August. Damn. Our birthdays are very close together, but I assure you, my contracts are a little bit more transparent than Don King's. A little bit more transparent. Okay, so what's the date now? 17th. Okay, we got a few days. What's this? 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. Okay, we got a few days. Before we wish Don King a happy birthday. But what time is it now? Okay, we've gone 2 hours and 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and all assembled parties. I think we've got through it. I think it's been a good one. And yes. Look out for more live shows. Look out for another live show tomorrow. I think is it going to be the date lunchtime or is it going to be in the nighttime? I think around late lunchtime. I think we're going to do it around late lunchtime. So look out for that. And to everybody, to all assembled parties, you have been in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie. It's been an enjoyable one. Thank you to everyone who took time out of their day to come and spend their time over here. I think you made the right decision. And like I said, look out for the next live show tomorrow. I think for late lunch. I think we're gonna have a late lunch over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. But in the meantime, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live shows. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. And for now, all that's left for me to say is blessed.